Welcome back to the sports world. I'm Ben Bornstein. It was a hectic night for Gator sports as three teams took to their respective courts and fields. But before we get to the recap, let's get to the preview for a game tonight. We're going to head out to the O-Dome where our own Bobby Shepsky will give us the scoop on the women's basketball game. Hey, Bobby, the Gators are hosting Missouri tonight. How big is this game?
Hey, Ben, this is a really big one for the Gators. So far, they're 7-5 in conference play. Winning this one would ensure them at least going 500 in the SEC. Missouri, on their other hand, is coming into this one at 4-8. The Gators will rely on some upperclassmen leadership with Jatera Bonds and Kayla Lewis both playing very well of late. With ranked South Carolina and Texas A&M looming, the Gators really need to win the ones that they can.
And what do you think the Gators need to do to win tonight?
Well, Ben, this one is going to be focused on the Gators closing out behind the arc. The Gators have the worst three-point defense so far in the conference, while Auburn leads the conference in three-point attempts. Besides trying to contain Auburn behind the arc, Florida will also have to get some boards. Florida may be the smallest team in the SEC and is the worst in the conference so far in rebounding. If Florida can do those things, they should have a very good chance at winning tonight. Live from the O-Dome, I'm Bobby Shepsky. Back to you, Ben.
Thank you, Bobby. Sticking with the action in the O'Connell Center, the men's basketball team had quite the game last night, getting a battle from the Auburn Tigers. The second-ranked Gators would go into halftime down by 8, their biggest halftime deficit of the season. However, a quick 11-3 run would tie up the game, highlighted by this alley-oop to Patrick Young from Scotty Wilbekin. The rest of the game would be played inside a 5-point window with this Frazier 3, giving Florida the lead for good. Coach Billy Donovan wasn't happy with the defensive effort, but says you got to take the wins you get and forget about the records.
You know, and everything else, you know, I told our guys this, you know, our record going into the game is 23-2. I said, that's just, to me, a record of what's happened in the past. It doesn't really make a difference. It doesn't make a difference where our ranking is. All that, what matters is how do we come into this game and how do we play and how do we perform.
The Gators will play again on Saturday when they travel to Oxford to play Ole Miss and will have the chance to move up to number 1 in the rankings. How, you ask? We'll get into that right now. The reigning number 1 team in Syracuse had what they thought to be a gimme win, but Boston College had other plans. An Eagles team that entered the game 6-19 rallied from a 13-point deficit in the second half to tie the game at 50 on Olivier Hanlon's layup. Syracuse would get one more shot to try and win this game, but Rakeem Christmas's hook shot refused to drop for another miraculous victory. The Eagles and Orange would go back and forth in overtime until the Eagles found themselves up 3. The Orange would have a chance to tie, but no such luck, as Boston College would win the game 62-59. With a win on Saturday, Florida could become the number 1 team in the land. But baseball took their swing at a win last night and really got into it, going late in the game against the visiting Ospreys from UNF. We're going to take this thing straight to the 8th inning where all the excitement went down with the Gators trailing 7-5. Freshman Buddy Reed singled to bring in 2 runs, and then junior Casey Turgeon ripped a hit up the middle to get the game-winning run across the plate. Final score was 8-7. The last but not the least of 3 Gator sports in action last night, the softball team looking to go for the sweep. They hosted the Dolphins from Jacksonville and handled their business. Lauren Hager pitched a gem as she got the shutout and 7 strikeouts. She only allowed 4 hits the entire game. She helped her own cause with this Hager bomb to left center, and Taylor Fuller had given her pitcher some run support earlier with a long ball of her own. The end score being 6-0. Florida men's basketball could be the number 1 team in the nation if they win on Saturday. You think y'all going to watch the game?
I'm definitely going. It's good to see one of our teams actually doing well this season.
I would not miss it. Thanks, Ben.
No problem.
More news after 3. Stay with us.